Hello, everybody. How are you tonight? I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing okay too. Tired.
Tired, yes.
Not looking forward to the week ahead.
No. Whoever does. So many people, they want to hurry up, get till Friday so the weekend can get here. And then the weekend gets here, it's like you do realize that in a few short hours it starts all over again, and yeah.
Then you're hurrying up the whole week again.
Yeah.
It's a stupid
and people wonder why it seems like time goes by so much faster.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Dan Stafford, and this is
Roxanne Stafford.
How are you? We already talked about that, didn't we? Good night. That's how tired I am. Oh, my word. Yeah. I gotta make sure. I don't even know if that's working. Here, let's refresh that, and hopefully we will be able to see if anybody is in the chat. By the way, if you didn't know, you can follow us on social medias. We have what do we got? We got the Twitters at Stafford Voice. We also have the Facebooks, which is where we live stream our show. And by the way, if you're listening to a rebroadcast, watching a rebroadcast, or listening to a rebroadcast, what most people would refer to as a podcast. Man, I'm tired. Thank you. We genuinely appreciate you taking your time out to listen or watch or whatever it is that you're doing. There we are. They're already wanting to talk about our reaction to the pumpkin spice stuff.
I'm excited. I think I'll like it.
We'll see.
We picked out simple things.
We did. We didn't want to go We didn't want to go overboard just yet.
Well, I don't think a lot of people have stuff out yet because it's only September.
Well,
I think slowly some more.
Probably. So, if you're listening to a podcast or you're not subscribed, you can listen to iTunes or Spotify or Google Podcasts now is out there. What else is there? There's iHeart, there's Stitcher, there's Player FM. There's a whole long list of whatever it is. You'll also be able to catch a replay of the show. If you want to watch, you can go to our Facebook page. That is facebook.com/The Stafford Voice. Or you can go over to YouTube's, and you can go to youtube.com/C/The Stafford Voice. Or you could just search for The Stafford Voice and you'll find us. Also, we have the Instagrams. I'm not very busy over there posting as I should be, but it is what it is. We're busy. We get busy.
Everybody gets busy.
Yeah. We have a hard enough time trying to figure out what we're going to eat tomorrow night. I said we.
I know. It's just we had that discussion earlier.
We did.
Today.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's just dive into what we have going on tonight.
Okay, we're doing 2 chapters tonight.
We're covering 2 chapters out of the book, Boundaries, by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. It's been a really, really good book so far, in my opinion. I'm learning a lot.
I'm learning a lot. I just need to apply it and stick with it.
That is the hardest part. In my opinion. I mean, it's easy to read a book. It's easy to read a post. I put one out over on the Stafford Voice. What was it called? Stop focusing your attention on the past.
I really liked that article because that's weeks ago when I posted about missing my mother-in-law and how I would want her here. That was kind of the same concept as if she was here right now. There'd be so many other things that would change. I think you call it the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
And that's I mean, there's things that have happened since she's been passed that I really appreciate learning and growing with, but I still miss her. So I don't want to change what we have, but I want her. And I know that that's going to happen.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, and you know, I've talked about this a couple of times. When I see things come at me from a couple of different ways, when things are coming at me a couple of different ways, I tend to take note, and then this one kind of really struck me, so I wanted to do something about it. Excuse me.
It was a good article. You did good.
Well, I felt slightly inspired by it, by wanting to do it. So I feel better having gotten it off of my chest. So, if you haven't been over to the Stafford Voice, you should take a look at it, and let me know what you think. Before we get into the book,
okay,
let's do this. What do you think about this? And before we get into I think this is what we should do. We can introduce what we're going to taste test. We're going to do a live taste testing of these pumpkin spice items.
There's only 2.
We did. We started out with 2. Maybe next week, if it goes okay,
we can pick some more stuff.
We'll pick some more stuff. But we tried to keep it small, something that we would probably just normally snack on. So
I would normally snack on these. I don't know if you would.
One of them in a different flavored. I wouldn't normally pick out a pumpkin spice.
That.
Yeah, I wouldn't normally pick that in a pumpkin spice.
I would.
I wouldn't normally pick anything out in a pumpkin spice.
I know, that's why I was saying I would pick these. I would eat them.
So, before we do that, and before we get into our topics tonight of setting boundaries with friends and family, not spouses. That's what we're going to cover. We'll cover spouses next week, because that's I think a big chapter.
I guess I would have never thought you would have to have boundaries with your spouse, but I guess maybe there are.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
What are we going to do before we do all that?
I want to let those on the East Coast know that they're in our thoughts and our prayers. You know, the Hurricane Florence. Hurricane Florence is like they're expecting it to increase in strength. I think right now it's a Cat 2 or a Cat 3. And they expect that once it hits landfall, it's going to be a Category 4. Could be extremely devastating to the Carolina coast. So please, people, if you are in the path, please follow what the officials are asking you to do. If you need to, you might already be a little late in getting some supplies, but for the majority of you, you already know what to do and how to act. So I just want you guys to know that you're in our thoughts and our prayers. We have some family, we have friends that are over on that side of the U.S. is what I was trying to say. But yeah, we hope that nobody loses a life or gets really, really injured or loses anything. Hopefully the losses are at a minimum, but I plan for the worst in situations like that. Yeah. Nobody really wants to go through a hurricane or a tornado or anything like that.
I've never been through a hurricane, so I can't say, but it just sounds scary.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I can see the winds would be similar to a tornado, but it's a longer sustained wind.
Yeah.
But when you throw in heavy rain, it's a totally different dynamic.
Well, and I can't say that I've been through a tornado. Obviously, we live right here in Tornado Alley is what they call it.
Yeah.
But I've never, thank goodness, been involved in losing homes or anything like that in a tornado. Just have the sirens go off and get a little scary sometimes because I really absolutely hate tornadoes.
Nobody likes tornadoes.
I mean, run to the basement, grab the cat, and grab everything I can and run to the basement because I'm scared.
But that's to be expected.
I feel like I'm kind of a big baby when it comes to that.
As long as you're prepared.
So I can't imagine a hurricane. That seems like
I can't either.
Pretty devastating and very scary to be involved in.
So we have not opened any of these items.
Are we doing that first before we talk?
We're gonna open them. We'll introduce them, and then
I think we should talk about the book, and then maybe when we have some few minutes at the end, we can open them and they can see our reaction.
No. I want to do that. I want to start with that, and we can snack as we do the show. Here, give me that one, and I'll introduce that one because that's kind of the one that I would normally go with. So, what do you have?
I have Milano pumpkin spice cookies
from Pepperidge Farm. And by the way, we're not sponsored as we're doing this. We're not sponsored by any of these.
No, we just picked them up.
We just picked these up. We're just wanting to have a little bit of fun with this. Yours is a Milano. It's a cookie, right?
Yeah. It's got chocolate, and then it's got pumpkin spice flavor filling with the chocolate.
Okay. And I have... What are they normally called? Pinwheels?
Those?
Yeah.
No.
What are they normally called? Cream-filled rolled wafers? Pirouettes?
Yes.
That's what they're called. Normally, these are called pirouettes. They're those rolled-up wafer cookie things, paper thin, and they are extremely crumbly, but they have a pumpkin spice flavored cream, and it's filled inside. So, yeah, I gotta figure out how to open this. I don't do too well under pressure. Under pressure. Dun 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 dun. Oh, this is gonna be easier than we thought. Okay, so as you're...
Got it.
So I'm sorry if these are loud for you guys. And there's somebody in the chat over on the Facebooks is saying the audio keeps going in and out. Hopefully that's not anything on our end. That is really loud.
Sorry.
So, what are they? They're only not even in a tray. They're just stacked in there.
No, they got a little.
Oh, a little cup.
Yeah.
Well, pull one of the cups out and set them here so we can.
That's gonna be easier said than done.
Well, nobody said life was easy.
Nope.
Sorry, we're trying to.
The little cup.
Okay.
I will try one of these first.
You've got your cookie. I've got my little rolled pirouette things, pumpkins, but. Okay. First impression. That's not that bad.
Mm-mm.
Yours are okay?
I don't get a big pumpkin spice flavor taste.
No. For me, I get more of the cinnamon, and I love cinnamon. I love the taste of cinnamon.
These are so good. I'll eat them.
Do you get cinnamon with yours? No?
Maybe chocolate.
Maybe so you don't even get... I'm going to try one.
There's a little bit of a pumpkin.
It's not bad.
Mm-mm.
You don't get a lot of pumpkin flavor.
Mm-mm.
So, honest opinion here. You can have a little mini pirouette. Yeah. Okay. So, as my co-host here is taste testing the pumpkin spice rolled wafer things.
These are good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We may have to pick
more.
up a couple of these because it does not have a pumpkin taste at all. To me, it's more of a cinnamon.
And they're only limited edition, which means.
Yep. Okay. Boundaries with family and friends.
Good to have.
I don't even really know where to start.
Well.
Do you want to start with with family, or
Yeah.
So, and here's what we've determined, and that's setting boundaries with your friends or your family are basically one in the same, because these two different lists that we noticed in the book are almost the same. They had the 8 questions. They had this boundaries checklist, and it was 8 questions. Number 1 was, what are the symptoms? 2, what are the roots? Number 3, what is the boundary conflict? Number 4, who needs to take ownership? Number 5, what is needed? Number 6, how do you or they begin? Number 7, how do you/they set boundaries? And then 8, what's next? But
that was in the friends section, but I guess you could use that for...
I think you can use it as family, or whatever type of situation you need to place a boundary. I think and that's why I wrote it down, was because it really stood out to me, because I'm a list-oriented person. If I have something that I can go off of, it really, really helps me. So I really liked this little 8-question checklist, but as we're going into this, let's remember what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and that was the different types of people. Whether it's a friend or a family, there are compliant people, there's controllers, manipulators, and there's those that are non-responsive. And we all know somebody that fits in the realm of every single one of these, right? I mean, At some point, I think we all become one of those 4 people.
Probably.
Whether we want to admit it or not. We don't want to admit that we become a manipulator in a relationship.
But you may without even realizing it too. So.
Exactly.
But no, with the family one, it didn't have questions. It just had, I guess, different types of relationships you have with your family, like how they act and how you respond. So, and that was kind of interesting because I saw some of that as I was reading it.
And what's interesting is as we introduce some of these types of family, quote unquote, relationships, you can almost do that with your friends also.
Well, yeah.
Because they're going to exhibit some of these same characteristics, and that's why, in my opinion, it's the two kind of go hand in hand. Whether it's a friend or a family.
Yeah. So, which one are we starting with? Because I'm confused. Are we starting with family, or are we starting with?
Well, I think we've already talked about the checklist in the friends section, but that
was basically the only thing I got out of it.
That was really the only thing I got out of it either. But as you go through and you having the checklist now, I think makes it easier to put and maybe this is a really bad word selection, but when you put your relationship under a microscope, if it's a family member, I think it makes it a little easier to kind of dissect what's happening.
Well, I felt like that just reading the stuff in the family section where it talked about the different types of, I don't want to say personalities, but it's kind of like personality. This person acts this way. This is why you act the way that you do.
Like, you just want to start at the start of that one?
A family? Yeah, I guess we can. You let me start here where it talks about the different... It says signs of a lack of boundary.
Yes.
It says look at some common signs of a lack of boundaries with the family we grew up in. So, the first one was catching the virus.
And what I got out of that was a trickle down type thing. And, because in a family setting, when one of the kids gets sick, and I'm just thinking hypothetically here, if one child gets sick, another child gets sick, mom or dad gets sick.
So it affects everybody.
Right. So it's kind of that trickle down effect. And it kind of relates with a power structure almost. When you look at it in regards to a relationship. If you have that trickle down idea with a relationship, then with power in a relationship, if somebody has too much power, then it kind of takes away from the other person.
Well, I guess I saw it as more as like somebody's attitude. Like if you're talking to them and they're kind of in a bad mood, and you were fine until you start talking to them, and then suddenly now you're in a bad mood, so you get off get done talking to that person, and then you take that bad attitude and you have a bad attitude with your spouse or with your child or with your friend. That's how I understood this to be the catching of the virus.
I can see that.
Because I see that a lot in relationships that I've dealt with. Is I'll be perfectly fine, and then you talk to somebody, and then they're just, well, this happened to me today, and they're just going on and on about how awful their day has been, and this has happened, and they're so negative. And then by the time I get off the phone or get done talking to them, I'm negative. Yeah. And I wasn't before. And then I will get grouchy and get mad at things or people. So that's how I kind of took it as. So
most of the time when you seem upset with me, it's not because of something I did. It's because you were on the phone or had an interaction with somebody else?
I don't feel like I get that upset with you very often.
Oh. Okay.
Do you?
No, I really don't. I really don't feel that way at all.
I mean, we all have our days. I mean, we all have our days where it's a crappy day at work or just a crappy day in general. So, but whatever you need to do to.
And for me, that's working out.
Although I'd like to be like, well, what's going on? What can I do to help you? What can I make your day better? Can I
spot me on some heavy squats? That's what you could do.
But no, that's how I took this catching the virus thing.
Okay.
Is kind of, so, yeah.
The next one I think was what, leftovers?
No, second fiddle.
See, you read it out of the book. I take notes.
Well, I take notes mentally. But this one was, I don't feel like there's, that I have a problem or you have a problem with any of this. Are you okay?
It felt like a cobweb or something like hit my ear.
They're coming up through the window from the
They better not.
Driveway there.
I'll go full on ninja.
But no, this was more, I think, of
somebody's better than the next person.
Well, it's kind of like well, I guess right here where it says the spouse feels like he gets leftovers, so I guess that's where you got it from. So like it's a husband and wife, for example, and the wife doesn't really put the first, other people first, instead
kind of
of
like
her husband.
So kind of like a husband who says, well, that's not how mom used to cook it.
Yes.
See how I called myself out on that one?
You did, but you've changed so much, because I think your mom...
Not that type of change?
No, but I think your mom kind of put the brakes on that one, because
yeah,
I think you were in the room one time, or in the same area, and we were talking about it, and she said, well, if he doesn't like what you cook for dinner, then you can tell him to go over to his mom's house or something. And of course we lived in a different state, so it's not like,
which would have been a long drive to get there.
But we were still learning. We were young when we got married, so we still had to learn, and nobody's perfect.
No.
So yeah, it's kind of like that.
Okay, so I get what's being said. I get it. And that's you really need to, whether it's whoever it is you're dealing with is the one that should have your attention at that moment. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't be, we all get guilty of it. And that's being preoccupied with something else.
Yeah.
It's hard. I get it. But when you're dealing with someone who is close, and there's a level of intimacy with your relationship, and I'm not talking, bedroom type of intimacy. I'm talking, because it's a family member or a really, really close friend. You need to have the respect for the other person and show it by giving them your undivided attention. And I think that's kind of what is being said here with the whole, second fiddle or...
Well, and I think they related it mostly to, like, marriages for this particular one.
Yeah.
Because it said right down here, husbands and wives shouldn't have a relationship with their... this does not mean that they can't have an extended relationship with their families. They need to set clear boundaries with families of origin. Many marriages fail because one partner fails to set clear boundaries with family of origin, and the spouse and children get leftovers. So, and then the fact that you're married, you're kind of leaving your other family because you're making your own. I mean, you still have them, and you still need to...
Well, that's a biblical principle.
Yeah, cleave on. Was it cleave on?
Well, yeah, and the basic idea is that you grow up from a baby to an adult, and then when you leave your parents, and you go and you form that bond with...
You set up your own family.
Yeah, you do it outside of there.
And so that's where, what was it, like a little triangle that we were taught one time at church, where at the top is God, and then it's your spouse, and then your children, and then your family. So your spouse.
Okay, so the next one I wrote down, allowance.
Well, yeah. It's just basically parents who are still paying the kids' bills, not letting their children, even after they've gone on their own, basically be their own family. They're still paying bills, taking them on vacation, still giving them money for things that probably really isn't necessary.
Right.
So they're not really learning.
Well, and they haven't really... They haven't left home yet.
Even though they physically left home, they haven't left home.
Right, because they're still emotionally and, to an extent physically attached to home with mom and dad. That is, that they haven't. There's a different level of maturity when you're forced to do it on your own.
That's what it. Yeah, basically it says at the end of this section. It says adults who do not stand on their own financially are still children. To be an adult, you must live within your means and pay for your own failures.
But that's hard.
That is very
It's very hard.
I struggle with that all the time. I always want to help our son and his wife and their baby. If I had it my way, and if it was in a perfect world, I would just give them everything that they needed.
But you can't.
I can't. And we were not given everything we needed as we were...
No, we had to struggle at times.
And our parents stepped back and let us struggle. And I'm thankful for that, because I've learned lessons, and it's made me who I am, and I would like to think that I'm a good person. But yeah, I struggle a lot with that. Wish I could make everything perfect when it can't be.
Well, and it's
I mean,
this is something that I think we probably need to spend more time on at a different time, and this is something that I've.
This particular
this entire idea of the allowance where they haven't fully matured to the point to where there's an entire separation and growth with leaving home, leaving mom and dad, and being physically, emotionally, and mentally out on your own and responsible for your own stuff without having to worry about quote unquote getting an allowance where mom and dad don't have to pay for things. Because I think there's a bigger topic here, and I think it touches on so many aspects of society.
Well, I got the feeling that this one was, even though most of the children can probably afford living on their own, parents are still doing stuff. And I feel like there is a difference between that and your children living on their own and struggling a little bit, and maybe just helping them every now and then when they need to, just to, because we had help, even though both of our parents, were like, okay, you're on your own, you're adults, you're married, you have a child, you're on your own, you got to figure it out, you got to figure out how to pay your bills, you got to figure out how to get groceries with what you have left over, and you're pretty much not going to have any fun.
No.
And we didn't. We were home all the time, and now we could probably afford to go and do fun things, and what do? We sit at home. We sit at home all the time.
Binge on Netflix.
But I think you're right. There is probably a bigger topic, because I think there is kind of a thin boundary line there, that where, it's probably okay to help every now and then when they truly need it.
Yeah.
As opposed to they don't need it. They've got their own money. They can take care of their own bills. Sorry.
Can't bang on because then
moves the microphone.
Well, it thumps. So, but I get exactly what you're saying. It really is okay to help. It's okay to help, but you're not helping if you're doing
everything for
them. If you happen to be driving around in a big lifted pickup truck with brand new tires and you're still living with mom and dad, there's a problem.
And there's lots of people that do that.
There are a lot of people out there that are doing it.
That still live with mom and dad, but they have nice things compared to...
But you know what? It's okay, because you're allowed to live with mom and dad until 26, because that's what the government says when you get kicked off of their health care.
I was pretty much kicked off when we got married and had to get on your insurance through the military. So what, I was like 18?
Mm-hmm.
Because at that time, wasn't it 18?
Yeah, we were 17 and 18.
But at the time when we had insurance, they kicked you off at 18, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I think you had to have a special circumstance in order to go past that. Or you had to be in school or something like that, but it would only go up to like the age of 21.
But now it's 26.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one, I think
it's titled Mom, Where's My Socks? But
I put down perpetual child syndrome because
that's what it says there. And that probably makes more sense, that instead of Mom, Where's My Socks? This is basically the adult child who hangs out with mom and dad, goes on vacations with them, comes over to do his laundry at the house with his mom and dad, eats all the meals there. He just never really does anything on his own.
Get out of the house and go live on your own.
Well,
be your own man or woman.
I understand it as to be they are on their own, but they just come home to mom and dad all the time.
Yeah, you haven't left yet.
So mom and dad take care of everything.
Pack your crap and get the hell out.
That sounds so mean. This is where I hate being the mom sometimes, because I get all those
nicety stuff.
When I get all the sad feelings, thinking, oh, they're going to be so sad.
No! Mom and Dad need time. Mom and Dad need time.
But yes, that's what that was.
They need time for their family.
Well,
put your phone down, put your tablet down, get away from the computer, shut the TV off, and spend time with your family.
So they maybe shouldn't watch this.
No, you can watch this. This is a family show. This is a family show. There's family that watches.
Yes, there is.
There's family watching right now.
I have my sister Terry watching. Our daughter-in-law Jessica was up on here, and then I think Aunt Patty was on here too.
I don't know who else is watching. No,
there's not very many comments going on.
No. Everybody's probably watching football.
Oh, Terry's a football fan.
Nah, well, but she's choosing to watch that, so it's probably on halftime or something. So
is there Nebraska playing?
No, it's Sunday. College plays on Saturdays.
I don't know.
See, we don't watch sports. We don't watch sports at all. We watch the Olympics.
Well, somebody will watch Olympics more than I will.
Yes. I geek out on the Olympics.
I just read.
I don't know why. But we went to the bookstore. There needs to be a boundary.
At the bookstore for
At the bookstore. Somebody should be there and be like, and no, they're here.
The Staffords are here.
Okay, turn them around. Okay, thanks.
They spent too much the last time they were here. We did good this time, though.
Yeah, we only got 2 books each.
But I got one that I've been looking for
It's a problem.
Forever. It is a problem. I get excited. It's like
you read so much faster than I do.
I did. I finished a book over the weekend. I started it Friday and finished it today.
Speaking of boundaries, probably need to establish a boundary. Okay, put the book down, spend some time with the hubs.
You were reading.
Oh.
And I did.
Is now a bad time to tell them that we picked up a bag of dinosaur-shaped marshmallows for Gavin?
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah! Woohoo!
Oh, I've been going in and out because Gavin...
Taking mental... Oh, uh-oh. Not a good thing when your aunt, when your aunt says she's taking mental notes.
Oh, see, Terry...
Oh, apparently Gavin's being a real butthead
and
tonight.
Terry's watching the Packers. But Terry's a big
football
fan.
She's a cheesehead. Packers.
I don't know if she likes the Packers. I know she loves the Huskers.
Well, I mean, everybody that's from Nebraska loves the Huskers.
I'm from Nebraska, and Huskers are okay. I buy my dad Husker stuff.
See?
But that doesn't mean I just don't watch it.
However, this isn't the first time we've had a show that we've done our show on Sundays where we competed with your attention for against football. And even in the past, people have watched football but still listened. So it just blows me away the fact that people take time out of their day.
Thank you.
And evenings. It really does mean a lot.
It does.
It's huge.
Well, and Jessica needs to just tell Evan that he won't be able to get any dinosaur marshmallows until he gets behaved.
Bull crap! I'm giving him dinosaur-shaped marshmallows. They're different colors, and oh man, does he? I hope he likes marshmallows. He will love those dino marshmallows. See? Well, we have to give him.
It was funny because we're walking down the aisle where the marshmallows are, and we both kind of turned and looked at the same time, and we're like, oh,
dino marshmallows.
So we picked them up. There was no discussion. It was just, we're going to pick them up. So they are here at the house. The next time we see Gavin, he's going to have some marshmallows that are
dinosaur-shaped marshmallows. Okay.
So that's just, there really wasn't much with the perpetual child syndrome. I mean, I felt
it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, and I felt like I don't know anybody personally that has that.
Yes.
Who?
I can't say.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
Do you get what I'm saying now?
No, I didn't see everything you...
Anyway. Haven't we met, though?
I don't know.
If we have, it's been forever.
I don't know if you've met Terry.
I don't know. You have a much bigger family than I do.
Yes. I have 2 biological sisters, and I have 3 stepsisters and 1 stepbrother. And a cat.
Oh.
And Terry is a big cat fan too. She has 2 cats. Pictures of her cat on there.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever met.
I don't know. But if we have, it's been forever ago. Because we're old. Cat trying to drink. What?
She's underneath the desk.
You better not, because you're going to unplug something probably. Okay, so what's the next one?
3 is a crowd.
Ah, this was the triangulation thing.
I'm glad you said that word because I don't know
there
if I
was
could
something on. Oh yeah, the triangulation effect thing. So yeah, let's paint the scenario here. There's 3 people, obviously, because it's a triangle. Whatever. Here's the thing. You got person A, person B, person C. Person A and person B are...
Oh, is this the one where they...
over here. Okay, here, I'll just read it to you the way they wrote it.
This is the one that kind of confused me as I was reading it.
Kind of confused you, but anyway, she says she's never met me.
I don't think she has.
Well, I apologize.
But I don't know if you've met a lot of,
Probably not. Like I said,
I don't think you've met Tracy, their sister, too. She lives in New Mexico.
No.
I don't think you've met her. I think you've met Tammy and Chris.
Okay.
Anyway.
Sorry. We'll have to meet up. We need to make a trip up there anyway.
To Nebraska?
Yeah.
Okay.
To the Omaha area.
Omaha. She's not too far. Grand Island?
No. Grand Island's not that far. We could do lunch or dinner or something.
I could do that.
Okay. Here's how they word it. This is the idea on triangulation. It goes something like this. Person A is angry at person B. Person A does not tell person B. Person A calls person C and gripes about person B. Person C enjoys person A's confidence and listens whenever A wants to play the triangle game. It's a game. By this time, person B, feeling lonely, calls C and in passing mentions the conflict with A. Person C becomes the confidant of B as well as A. Persons A and B have not resolved their conflict, and C has 2 friends.
It was all confusing when I read it. I think I had to look at it a couple of times. I think we've all probably been guilty of doing that ourselves. Everybody.
Just
you go.
Talk to whoever it is that is the problem.
Well, didn't they say somewhere in here, where did I read that?
I don't know.
Where you can maybe talk to somebody about how you can approach the other person, but you just talk to them like that instead of, oh, well, so-and-so did this. You go to be like, okay, what can I do to help?
To help, at least break the ice with the other person and be like, hey, dum-dum.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily start your conversation with hey dum-dum.
Well, Terry said she would just go directly to the person, which is what you're supposed
to. It is. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. But for me, I think I would be like, okay, maybe I would go to somebody in confidence and be like, how do I handle this? This is what's going on with this person. What do you think I should...
Punch him in the face.
You can't punch everybody in the face.
Nope, but you can punch him with a smile.
So maybe, but that would be the only legitimate reason to go to somebody else, not to talk behind their back, because that's not nice.
No, nobody wants to know that somebody's talking behind their back.
Yeah.
That they're being talked about behind their back.
Yeah. So, but
okay,
yes,
so person. I need person A, B, or C to help me figure out how I was just supposed to say. I went through this last night. I confronted him on behavior and name calling, and he deleted me on Facebook. LOL.
Do you know how many times we've been deleted on Facebook by people?
Oh yeah,
and family is.
And most of them have been family.
Yeah.
I think 100% of them on my side of Facebook, on my Facebook, has been family.
Well, they get mad at you So they'll delete you.
There was somebody that we went to high school with. You're right.
Yeah, and I think that one affected me more because I knew her since junior high. She was there the whole entire time that we were pregnant with Daniel.
One of the few that was
helped.
supportive.
Yeah, and it was over political stuff.
Yes.
Just because she didn't agree with what we agreed with, and she called us some names.
And I understand that there's a history there. However,
I know. And to this day, we still aren't. I mean, we saw her at her high school reunion, and that was about it.
Just really like, hi, bye.
And I think that affected me only because, I'd known her for a long time, and she was, like you said, one of the ones that supported us.
Yeah.
She used to be auntie to Daniel, and now... So it was kind of sad, but it is what it is. If they don't want to have you on Facebook, then maybe there's a reason for it, I guess.
And you know what? That's okay.
Life will...
It will, and it has.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, Terry.
Okay. Triangulation is kind of easy, just talk to the person.
Don't talk behind their backs.
Yeah, that's just rude. That's not how you want somebody to treat you. So don't treat them like that. I mean, be respectful and be responsible to the other party.
Sometimes doing the right thing is harder than doing the wrong thing.
Okay, so what's the next one?
Who's the child here anyways?
Yes, I wrote down role reversal.
Yeah.
This is when it shut up, Pinterest. Pinterest. Okay, so role reversal. Who's the child? This is where a child has to step in and say, "Look, Mom, look, Dad, grow up."
Or it could even be like an aunt or an uncle, too.
Right.
It's just someone who's older than them. Yeah.
I mean, yes.
These are good.
They are good. Why? It seems like you're trying to skirt an issue or not say something.
I just feel like
I get it.
I've dealt with this before.
I get that there can be... Oh, wow. I was just going through what
Terry wrote.
Terry says. So, yeah. Look. Parents need to parent. Children need to children.
But the children also need to grow up when they get to a certain age, too.
Exactly. You need to adult when you need to adult. At the proper time.
Yeah.
So, and I get it. There may be a time or a specific incident, a specific period in someone's life where they kind of relinquish control. Maybe it's a medical reason.
Yeah.
And the role is reversed.
Yeah.
But it is not... Hey, what's up, Trevor? Thanks for joining us. Been a long time since we've seen you. Trevor,
I know.
Trevor, I hope... Trevor used to be... I don't think he's still into weather. Hopefully he's keeping his eye...
I think so.
Hopefully Trevor is keeping his eye on the situation over on the East Coast with Hurricane Florence. If that guy ever turned up to be a weatherman, it would not surprise me.
He's got the attitude for it.
He does.
That personality.
He is. He's great. But if you're a capable adult, don't throw your problems on your children.
Yeah.
And expect the child to take over and say, "Okay, Mom. Okay, Dad. This is what you need to do. I need you to go do this or go do that."
Except for maybe we could do that to Daniel.
Oh, I'm totally going to screw that kid over.
I told him that if he ever sends us into like one of those like assisted living homes.
Oh, it's going to be so bad.
He's going to get so many phone calls for a little trouble we're going to cause.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what that one's about.
And really, that's I got calluses under my calluses, and they're like really hurting. Okay, the last one before we kind of wrap this up with another little checklist type thing that we got. What do you got?
I'm your brother, I'm your sister.
Oh, yes. Yes, Trevor, you do spy Captain America on the wall. Actually, I've got one hung up over there. I got another one over there that's not hung up.
Like Funko Pop's a Captain America guy.
Yes. I like Captain America.
Mm-hmm. He does too, I think.
He likes comics.
Marvel. Jessica said no. Don't worry, Jessica. We'll put Daniel down as the one who has to be contacted, not you.
Yeah. You
can be contacted on the good things.
Yeah.
When we do arts and crafts.
Hey, they wiped their own ass today.
Jessica will be so excited to hear that. But, no. So, I'm your brother, I'm your sister one is basically just having a brother-sister relationship rather than kind of like, almost like a parent-child relationship.
This is almost borderline bully.
Well, it says, another frequent dynamic is the grown sibling in the sibling relationship. An irresponsible adult child depending on a responsible adult sibling to avoid growing up and leaving the family. So it's kind of like one sibling, whether it be the oldest or youngest, is being the parent to the irresponsible sibling who can't get his or her life together.
What about, okay, so role reversal
again.
What about when this completely can change the dynamic? What if there's an age discrepancy, like a couple of years, and the older sibling as a child was put in that responsible role over the younger sibling, and then everybody grows up, really hasn't left that mentality of, well, I'm your sister, so you have to do it.
Well, then
I'm your brother, you have to do this.
I think maybe then the person who is being kind of the one who's...
That's where I came up. That's where I'm thinking about the whole concept of bullying.
Well, I don't see it as bullying. I just see it as they're trying to be a parent when they're not a parent. And I think the other sibling who's being parented should probably step up and say, hey, got this.
Easier said than done.
But yeah, that's probably what should happen. That's where you draw those boundary lines.
Yep, you gotta draw them. Whenever, wherever. I feel like there was a song there.
What Trevor said?
No.
Oh.
I think it's a Shakira song. Whatever, wherever. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's these pumpkin spice pirouette things talking.
You didn't finish your Milano cookie.
That's kind of hard to eat a cookie. I'm going to eat it.
Oh.
They're kind of hard to snack on while doing this.
I did. I ate mine.
I know. You're better at it than me.
I didn't care.
Okay. So, one final thing before we wrap this up. Here, let's go through this whole resolution idea of boundaries, I guess. And again, this little checklist kind of thing comes from the book Boundaries. But there's this little resolution section in the chapter on family. And it can really help identify a couple of things and help set you on a path to establishing some boundaries and, protecting yourself as well as protecting the other party. So identify the symptom, identify the conflict, identify the need, take in the good, don't dismiss it.
Yes. Well,
I mean, you still need to focus on the good.
With the
The more, I think, the more you focus on the positive, the easier it is for somebody to consume the negative.
Well, and
accept it.
And they're more apt to change. I mean, that's even in parenting. I've read that in parenting books. Don't always point out the bad stuff that your child does.
Yeah.
Point out good things, because otherwise you're just going to make it worse.
Yeah. So yes, take in the good. Practice the boundary skills, whatever those are.
Hard.
Yeah. Say no to the bad. We've already talked about that. Forgive, which is an extremely difficult phase in this whole resolution thing.
But it's important.
Yes. But in the end, respond, don't react. You always want to be responsive rather than being reactive. Reactive says that you don't...
Well, I feel like reacting is more of, I didn't stop to think. I'm just letting it all come out when maybe I need to stop, think, and kind of recalculate everything before I say what I need to say.
Reactive can be a very bad thing.
Yes. So yes, you need to respond. Maybe take a deep breath, think for a moment before you say anything, because you can't take back what you say.
Right. Words have enormous power. So
yes,
your tongue can be a very powerful weapon.
Yeah.
It can start a war and it can end a war.
Yep.
Okay. Next week, what do we got to look forward to next week?
Next week is the chapter on boundaries and your spouse.
Oh boy, I don't quite know what to think.
You got nothing to worry about. Your spouse is perfect.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we all got problems.
We do.
We all got probs.
My list is way too long to show everybody.
Yeah, it is. I didn't mean it that way, since you wanted to go there. Okay. All right, guys. As you guys are well aware, I am Dan Stafford.
And I'm Roxanne Stafford.
We want to thank you for your time thank you for taking time out of your day to either watch or listen, whether you're watching or listening to a rebroadcast or the live recording in front of a studio audience. There's no studio audience. Cats don't count. But
she left us.
Those of you in the chat, you're our live studio audience. That's what we really like. We like interacting with that. Also, if you have not done so, please take the time to head over to the StaffordVoice.com. Check out everything that goes on over there. It's the easy place to stay up to date. If you want to dive even deeper in some of these topics or bring up your own discussions, please, on the right hand side, or I dropped a link in the chat, join our Discord server. Still working on some stuff over there. That noise that you just heard was something happened. Yeah, it was Discord, but it's,
it's not showing you.
It doesn't always. It was probably something that happened somewhere else inside Discord. But Discord's really fun. Conversations can go pretty deep in there if you really want to. It's not for everybody to see. It's very private. You do have to kind of be accepted in. So, yeah. Very humble hosts. It's always awesome to see you guys in our chat or on social media encouraging us or even continuing to talk about some of these topics.
Or even just help being part of the topic that we're talking about and putting your own input in.
And sharing and all of that. You guys make this worthwhile.
Yes.
So, if you have not yet done so, you can, again, jump over to the social medias on Twitter at Stafford Voice. The Instagrams is the Stafford Voice, as well as the Facebook. follow us over there, and you can stay up to date on whatever's happening in our lives, or any quick thoughts that we wanted to drop, or pictures, or whatever. You guys are awesome.
We thank you for all the love you give us.
We do. So, until next time, whenever we see you, peace out. No, thanks and God bless. You guys are awesome.